Okay, so today what we're going to be talking about is the importance of taking a proactive approach to the college application process. So let's take a little bit of context though first. As we know, as most of us know, application numbers are increasing, right? So a lot of more people are applying to colleges across the board, whether it's international students or even domestic students, especially for the top universities. On average, for most top universities, 90 to 95% of the students who are actually applying to that university already are academically qualified. They've got the good test scores, good GPAs, their academic cred is solid. For example, Harvard University, right? So Harvard gets about 40,000 applications per year. The scary part is that 35,000 of those kids already have, most of them are valedictorians or have top SAT scores. So how do those 2,000 kids who ultimately get a seat actually get into Harvard? How did they separate themselves from the other 35,000? Well, what's really separated them is that they took a proactive approach to the college application process. They really were able to tell a personal narrative that is authentic, that is clear, that is consistent. It makes them stand off the page of that college application. So what do we mean by that? Well, so today, most students, they actually take a reactive approach to the college application process, right? So they go to high school, they attend their classes, they try to get the best grades they can, and then they get to their senior year and they say, okay, here's the schools that I think I might qualify for. Well, that is really not a way to maximize your timeline or your college application process. What we want students to do is take that proactive approach. Ideally a student would be able to come in, and instead of waiting the night before they submit their college application, they've taken a purposeful approach to their high school experience, right? They've understood what their interests are, what their, what they care about, and they've leveraged all of the activities, all of the extracurricular activities, honors and awards. They've really kind of combined all of that to tell a story to a university that really leaps off the page. But to do that takes some time, right? I mean, if you're able to start earlier, then you can certainly do that. But what we're seeing too often is that kids are taking that reactive approach. They're waiting until their senior year, they're waiting until the night before they submit that application to really tell that story, and that's just not the right approach. So, how do we solve for this? What can students do? Well, unfortunately, today, students are kind of taking one of two approaches. The first approach is that they hire a private college counselor. Private college counseling is a great resource. Our sister company offers private college counseling. It's an excellent resource. It's very comprehensive. It goes into the detail, but it's also very expensive. And I can tell you from our own experience, only 1% of the students out there can really afford a private college counselor. So what else can you do? Well, on the other side, you have your guidance counselor. You can go to your school and you can work with your guidance counselor. And guidance counselors, they really know what they're talking about when it comes to the college application process. The challenge is their bandwidth. The average guidance counselor in Massachusetts, for example, they've got caseloads of 250 students. In some schools, we see 400 students per guidance counselor. On top of that, on top of just kind of the amount of students that they have, they also have a significant amount of responsibilities that apply more than just kind of the academic side. So yeah, they have to sit there and work with the courses and kind of set up the schedules for the students that are in their caseload. But then they also have to deal with behavioral, social, emotional issues. And that's really just an enormous amount of responsibility. So while guidance counselors have got a great number of resources available to them, it generally ends up being that they're more kind of an information-driven resource. And what we're talking about is more of kind of a proactive coaching that students really need. And at the end of the day, that's the one thing that students really need to take advantage of is really time, right? Is that the one commodity that all students have is time. So if you can start earlier and take that proactive approach, you're really going to be putting yourself in a position to maximize the college application process.